What's up, guys? Here at the NAMM show in LA. Well, not quite to the NAMM show yet, but I'm in LA, about to go to the NAMM show. Today we're talking at the College of Music Society Gen Next portion of the show. I've never been, so I know everyone in LA is going to groan, oh, just the NAMM show. But I haven't been here, and got in about 5 o'clock last night, and then had a really long 2-hour Uber ride to a meeting with King and Con Selmer, actually. We had a really productive meeting, and I'm looking forward to some new stuff happening with them that I'll be able to announce really soon, I hope. And it's time to get over to the show.
No. I do not. I don't.
Is it on? Oh, okay. All right. Sorry. So let's just rewind 30 seconds really quickly. My name is Finzer. I own Outside of Music. It's a jazz record label and media company based in New York City. I'm originally a jazz trombonist. I'm still a jazz trombonist, and I now teach at the University of North Texas as a jazz trombone professor. And my colleague here, this is Alan Blanchard. He has been working with me on Outside Music for the last couple of years. Alan was a student of mine at Florida State University, where I taught for a couple of years before where I am now, and in addition to playing in New York. So kind of in the trenches as a musician, as well as trying to figure out what we can do as jazz artists in 2019 and beyond with content, with putting out records, creating things, because you might not have noticed, but we're way behind the rest of the industry in terms of the volume of content, the approach to putting out music, and just putting our music, I think, on too high of a pedestal, and not being willing to share it with people in the places where they are, in the places where they want to consume music already. Outside in Music, it started because I put out a record with a record label that will not be named, and I did not have a great experience with that, and I realized that I could do it better, or differently at least, myself. And so what I did is I started this label and started realizing that I could help my friends in New York who are around my age put out their music, and it kind of got me thinking about, what do we stand for, what do we represent, and it kind of comes down to this phrase that's kind of at the top of the screen here. So this is kind of our mission, is create, connect, repeat. So create, connect, repeat is the thing that I talk about with my artists all the time. You need to be making stuff all the time. We usually get into this cycle, at least with projects, is that people think they're going to take a cycle of like 18 months or 2 years to make a record, to put it out. They spend $10,000, $15,000 recording, mixing, mastering, hiring a publicist, hiring the radio promoter, and doing all this stuff, and then they get a little blip on the kind of scene, and then they dip off for another 2 years, and they get a little higher blip, and they dip off. And so what I'm trying to get people to do is buy into the same content strategy that the rest of the world has already been embracing, which is to put stuff out all the time. Put stuff out all the time. You need to be putting music out constantly. So this has turned into a number of things. There's a weekly show on our YouTube channel called Create, Connect, Repeat, where we talk about just different things, trying to get artists to get off their butts and to start doing things and stop waiting around and thinking that they're going to get signed, that they're going to find this magic opportunity to have things be handed to them. So what I really wanted to try to bring you guys some value with here is to try to talk about what I would do when you're working on your new project, whatever you're doing, because we think, okay, I'm going to make this album, but we want to try to get the most out of every single thing, and this is what we do with our artists. And today we also wanted to kind of announce and talk about, for you early career musicians, is the launch of our new label, Next Level. It's an imprint on our label, and Next Level is for those early career musicians, and this is what we're going to do for those artists as much as we can, depending on where they live and where they are in the process. So we get the idea of this new album project. And so from there, during the brainstorming phase, I kind of touched on this a little bit. We have the day of the session, but on the brainstorming stage, you want to be creating content around the concept. Like, how did you come up with it? What are the songs? Who's in the band? How did you decide? Did you go and check them out at a gig and like, could you film like a bootleg? Like, man, this drummer is killing. I need to have him on my band. Like, you're documenting all these steps along the way, either with audio, with pictures, with video, like we've talked about. And then during the day of the session, you gotta obviously make the record, but you gotta record video, and you might as well, since you're already paying the videographer, get them to talk to the musicians and talk to you about what you're doing. And yes, we've seen a million videos like this, and maybe it seems played out at this point, but if you're not doing it, you don't exist. If you're not putting stuff out on YouTube, you're not there when people search. And so the day of session, this becomes the album. You know, we focus now on singles. We're making every artist do at least one, if not 2 or 3 singles. You get a track video for each track. You then take those, and Alan knows this because I make him do this all the time, is take a video, download it, cut it up into 3 or 4 pieces and post it up on Instagram throughout the week. Then you can write an article about the process. You can take and interview musicians. You can make podcasts about the music. You could just put the tracks playing as a weekly episode on your podcast. There's so much stuff that you can do. It's almost unlimited. These are just quick ideas. And which all that stuff leads to your booking materials, which leads to gigs, which leads to live videos, which you do the same thing with. You strip the audio, you put it on your podcast, you put it out there for people to check out. Then you're going to get students that are like, hey, I want a Skype lesson. And when you're teaching the Skype lessons, you go ahead and every single little exercise you come up with, you put it into Finale, right? And then 10 lessons later, you have all these PDFs to sell of all your exercises, which then leads to more on Skype, which leads to educational bookings, which helps you to get more gigs in new places and share your music with more people. So all of these things, one into the other, is content, and it keeps on rolling in a circle, and it keeps going up and up and up and up and up. And the more that you're dedicated to it, and the more that you're thinking about these things. So you just got to keep on doing it all again and again. It keeps coming back to that same thing: create, connect, repeat.
We're here today. Oh, it was really good, man. Met a lot of good people.